Today I'm going to be talking about the binoculars that you are wearing in your relationships, and especially with kids, because I think a lot of times, this is my screenshot, I think a lot of times we are so hyper-focused on the child, on the kids, what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they're capable of, living up to their potential, on and on and on. And we're always looking at them and saying, how can I change them? How can I model, or how can I modify this behavior? And that was my focus for so many years. Lily needs to be doing more of this and less of this. Grady needs to be doing more of this, less of this. David needs to be doing more of this and less of this. And the focus was always on them. Then I read the book, which I cannot stop talking about, The Conscious Parent. And this turned me into a conscious wife, a conscious friend, a conscious family member, a conscious coach, just more conscious in my life about not the external, about the internal, and then putting the mirror up in front of myself. And so when I say living through the kids, I don't mean to live through the kids where you're on this roller coaster of all their emotions and up, down, happy, sad. Are they happy? Are they justified? Are they balanced? Are they getting enough of this, enough of that? Instead of all that focus and all that pressure on them, and am I doing good? Am I worthy? Am I doing a good enough job? All that stuff. Instead of living through the kids, because you will go on this roller coaster and then you lose yourself. And sense of self is the best gift we can give to our kids. How confident you are, how much you love your body, how much your relationship with food is, what's it like, all those things. When we look at the mirror and think about what we're bringing to the relationship, then we can really empower our children. Because instead of focusing on them, they're on their own journey. We have to focus on ourselves, put our oxygen mask on, and then pretend almost like you are living through their eyes and constantly seeing and saying to yourself, what are they seeing in me? What are they seeing in my relationship with David? What are they seeing in my relationship with God? What are they seeing in how I treat money and how I spend money or how I save money? All those things, lessons are caught and never taught. And so the more you can take the focus off them and the focus on yourself, then you feel empowered and in control. And like, this is more fun because it's more what you're bringing to the table instead of like pointing the finger and blaming them and putting your binoculars on them. If they will do this, then I'll feel this. If then. And it's almost like you're on a reality show because you have these eyeballs watching you all the time, and they help you make better decisions because you come out of your head space and you go into your heart space. You put the worry to the side, you put the fear to the side, and you think, how am I living my best life to show them? And it's a lot of balls in the air, but it's going to feel like they're all going at once and you have these balls bouncing instead of like eggs. And you're bouncing all these eggs, and if one drops, oh, I'm a failure and I'm just going to give up and quit. It's just too much. It's too much pressure on ourselves. Because when we are seeking perfection, Brene Brown helped me with the Gifts of Imperfection and Rising Strong and all of her amazing books about when we are showing up trying to be perfect in any area. Obviously, we're always going to fail because there's no such thing as perfect, but we're also doing that because we want to avoid judgment or shame from other people, and that's all external. But when you are juggling all these balls, it's okay if one drops because it's going to keep bouncing, and then you're over here and you're like, I got to give some to over there. So constantly thinking about, what's my relationship when I'm in traffic? When someone cuts me off? Am I like, oh, you or am I like, oh, wow, you must have been in a hurry. I'm just going to send a prayer to you. Or, sure, you can go right ahead. No biggie. I want to go first, but I'm going to let you go. I'm going to be flexible. I say these things out loud while I'm driving because guess who's in the back seat listening? Lily and Grady. And they're half listening, half not listening. But it just becomes the part of what we are and what we stand for and what our actions are. So instead of always wanting the child to be more of this, be more of this, be more of this, we are going to be that ourselves. Because when we can do that, then they're seeing it and they're feeling it. And then it becomes the norm in the relationship or in the house and in the family. In my relationship, how do I treat Grady when he is misbehaves? Because guess who's watching that? Lily. Because the way I treat him and the way David treats him when he's not doing what he should be doing, Lily's always watching like, okay, that's how I'm going to handle it next time. But if I'm, chastising him or coming down really hard on him, then she's going to come down hard on him. And same goes with Lily. When she's in trouble, then Grady's like all eyeballs, like, I'm glad that's not me right now, but he's watching, he's absorbing, absorb. A lot of the energy that you're giving to your kids is nonverbal. And so what is my relationship with my phone? Am I texting while I'm driving? Because guess who's in the back seat watching that? And in 10 years, Lily's going to be driving. And in 5 to 10 years, Grady's going to be driving. Okay, so that's really scary. So I have to constantly think, these eyeballs are constantly on me. But I love it because they are so unblemished and so unfiltered and such like reflections of God, and they're just such impressionable people that they can give me that gift of taking all that blemish and all that the unfilteredness, and they can give that gift to me every single day. How are they seeing me with my hobbies and my self-care? Am I working out? Am I pushing through things that are hard? Am I giving up and quitting when something's too hard? Because guess what? They're learning math facts. That's really hard for them. So if they're not going to give up, then I'm not going to give up. And I don't want them to give up. So if that's what I want them to do, then I need to do that. If I want them to live up their potential, I need to live up to my potential. How am I dealing with when I have fears? Like if someone asks me to do a public speaking, scared to death. So I tell Lily, I'm really scared. I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. She internalizes, and that becomes her inner dialogue. My inner dialogue and my inner mantras and my energy that I'm bringing is what she's going to bring to her table, and Grady's going to bring to his table, especially when he gets older. How am I dealing with stress? How am I dealing with someone in line literally cuts me in line, and I'm like, what? You want to set boundaries, but you also want to model kindness for them. How are they seeing, even at the grocery store, am I returning the carts is that the norm? Am I returning the carts back to the store? I know it seems silly, but it's those little itty bitty things. Am I picking up garbage that's in our front yard, or when we're walking, like, oh wow, someone must have dropped this, and throwing it away? It sets the tone, it sends the message. So instead of always focused on them, which is what I was doing, I am focused more on me and what I'm bringing to the table to keep my side of the street clean. And I'm so happy that they are there to expose my undeveloped self. And that's what I learned so much in The Conscious Parent. When I was working out, I was doing weights, and she said that I almost dropped it on my head. Because with focus is always on the child, on these little itty bitty beings who still believe in the tooth fairy and Santa and all the leprechaun's going to whiz in our toilet, green dye, they think is going to really happen. So we have to remember the mindset that we're dealing with, but it's also the thing that we love about them the most. So when we are living through their eyes and having their eyeballs like we're on a reality show, it brings our higher self, and it puts us at a higher frequency. Do they see me? How are they seeing me treating my friends and my sisters and my relationships with my family? Are they seeing me gossip? Are they seeing me on the phone gossiping? Are they seeing me lifting people up and sending out happy mail? Or what are they seeing every single day? And when you live like that, they are literal gifts of God sitting in our house every single day. So when we think about that and take it out of our own self and make it about their eyeballs and our energy, then it makes it a lot easier. So I hope that helped. If it did, let me know.